threat can't go ignored.
Sniper Elite Resistance, offering unparalleled sniping mechanics, stealth, and tactical third-person combat. Sniper Elite Resistance turns the attention of the award-winning series towards a hidden war, far from the front lines, deep within the heart of occupied France.
Every man has an animal within. If you push too much, you might unleash the beast.
Dying Light The Beast is a thrilling standalone zombie adventure set in the post-apocalyptic Castor Woods, a once popular tourist destination. After 13 years of enduring experiments, you escape and hunt down your captors to seek retribution, only to discover there's far more at stake. While the region is not as populated as it once was, there are still people and factions here, as well as plenty of horrors. Silent Hill 2 is an upcoming survival horror game developed by Bloober Team and published by Konami. It is a remake to the 2001 game of the same name, originally developed by Team Silent, a group within Konami Computer Entertainment Tokyo. Silent Hill 2 features a modernized third-person camera system. James is seen exploring environments seen in the original on a larger scale. Combat has been remade. Enemies will react to gunfire, James can use melee weapons, as in the original, and stealth has been implemented.
Awaken.
Dune Awakening is an open-world survival MMO set on the most dangerous planet in the universe. Survive the desert by learning the ways of the Freeman. Expand your potential through combat, spice, building, and trade. As guild intrigue and warfare rage, control the spice and cling to power. Survive, scavenge, and build a home to protect yourself from enemies and the elements. Seek fortune and spice through combat, exploration, trade, and crafting. In a world shared by hundreds of other players, will you rise to lead a great house and control the flow of spice itself?
Can awaken Arrakis itself.
Reanimal is a survival horror game and a cinematic platformer. The story follows a brother and sister as they try to escape a hellish version of their home while attempting to save their 3 friends. The two must work together, explore the islands, escape from mutated animals, and solve various environmental puzzles in order to progress. Players will eventually unlock a boat which enables them to explore locations off the critical path in a non-linear manner.
Wake up!
How do I fill the time?
We Harvest Shadows is a first-person farming narrative game with additional horrifying aspects. Gamers take control of the main protagonist, Garrett. Garrett, who is from the city, has exiled himself to an abandoned farm for the rest of his life.
We will cover your approach.
Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2. The player engages enemies using a mix of both melee and ranged combat from a third-person point of view. The player controls Titus, a lieutenant of the Ultramarines chapter and returning protagonist from the first game. Titus is accompanied by fellow Space Marines Chiron and Gadriel throughout the campaign, who can be controlled by other players in the game's cooperative multiplayer mode or by artificial intelligence in single player. No More Room in Hell 2 is an intense and terrifying permadeath co-op journey into the eerie darkness of zombie-infested zones. As an emergency responder, you must survive, scavenge, stockpile and fulfill your mission, then repeat, each time in an ever-changing experience. Survivor Instinct is a 2.5D action-adventure game that combines realistic platforming, challenging combat, and Metroidvania-style exploration during a thrilling quest of survival worthy of the Monsterverse franchise. Use the lethal strength of Kong and other monsters to your own advantage in this official Monsterverse game set shortly after the events of Godzilla vs. Kong. Borderlands 4. See if you have what it takes to go down in history as a legendary vault hunter as you search for secret alien treasure, blasting everything in sight in Borderlands 4, coming in 2025. Acts of Blood is a beat-'em-up, action, third-person game which focuses on fast-paced, brutal hand-to-hand combat. Set in dystopian city of Bandung, Indonesia. Players will play as the protagonist, Hendra, engaging in fast-paced, hand-to-hand combat against waves of enemies across various levels. The objective is to defeat all foes, including powerful boss characters on each level, using brutal combat movements, various melee and firearm weapons. Crimson Desert is an upcoming open-world, single-player, action-adventure game developed and published by Pearl Abyss. Crimson Desert is set in a medieval fantasy world, on a continent called Pywall. Cliff, the main character, is a mercenary who finds himself beleaguered by the burdens of leadership and painful memories of his past.
Will you help us, Henry?
Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 is an open-world action role-playing game in which the protagonist is controlled from a first-person perspective. Once again, tasks and missions can be handled in different ways. Depending on this, the reaction of the NPCs and the world to the type of playing is different. Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 features crossbows and early forms of firearms. The former can also be fired while riding.
You want to know the way to survive? You fight. Fight like a starving dog. I'm Neil.
Defect is a cyberpunk, squad-based, immersive objective shooter set in the last city of mankind, where the system, an authoritarian AI, rules within human logic. Choose from a collection of dangerous factions, the system's own policing force, rogue police elements, or a host of gangs vying for power. Play with friends in PvP or co-op, compete to achieve objectives like smuggling guns, assassinating targets, or arresting suspects. Suit up with state-of-the-art weaponry and technology to give you the edge you need to live another day. Goat Simulator Remastered is the remaster no one asked for. It comes with everything you loved about the original game and more, with new and improved visuals, updated textures, shiny new lighting, and some brand new foliage showing off the finest in advanced goat simulation technology. We've also completely reworked mutators, allowing you to pick and choose whichever goat you desire from a handy in-game menu. You just have to catch them all first. Begone Beast is a spooky top-down action game for 1 to 4 players. Hack and slash and scream through hordes of demons, endlessly changing levels, and ancient terrifying beasts. Harness the power of snacks, flashlights, and friendship in this scary, but also cute, race for survival.
Somebody's coming in hot.
ARC Raiders is an upcoming third-person, PvPvE action survival shooter set in a lethal future Earth, ravaged by a mysterious mechanized threat known as ARC. People have fled to the underground colony of Speranza, seeking supplies to survive, and shelter from the machines. Demand for resources is at an all-time high. But getting those resources is a risky job, and it isn't for everyone. Little Nightmares 3 takes place in a 2.5D world. The player must explore the world, occasionally encountering platformer-like situations or being blocked by puzzles that must be solved to proceed. Unlike the first two games, the player can now go solo alongside an AI companion or with another player in online co-op. The two main characters have different gameplay mechanics, with Lo wielding his bow and arrow, and Alone using her wrench.
Fight back!
It's the freaking bat! We aren't afraid of you! The bat dies tonight!
Batman: Arkham Shadow is an action-adventure video game played from a first-person perspective. In the game, the player assumes control of Batman, who must stop a new villain called the Rat King from unleashing chaos in the city. The rhythmic, free-flow combat from the previous games return in Shadow, allowing Batman to attack, stun and counter. Combining these three main abilities can keep Batman attacking while moving between enemies and avoiding being attacked himself. Batman can also activate detective vision to identify the locations and the patrol patterns of all enemies in an area, and stealth tactics can be used against armed enemies.
Our fears. It feeds the shadow deep inside us.
You're everything that's wrong with Gotham! I'm done holding back!
Dungeons & Kingdoms is a medieval fantasy strategy and RPG hybrid. Take control as leader of a small group of refugees fleeing from an unlivable homeland. Make landfall in a new world and start a new life. Build everything yourself. Or lay down blueprints and give orders to your loyal colonists. Build infrastructure, manage needs, gather resources, farm crops and hunt wild animals. Do whatever it takes to survive. Industria 2 is a narrative FPS adventure about a woman stranded in a parallel dimension. Explore, scavenge and fight your way through a mysterious boreal landscape consumed by an ever-hungry artificial intelligence to find a way home. Nora is stuck in a parallel dimension, far away from home. Surviving alone on a peaceful island, an empty apartment building in a vast sea of hostile solitude, she constructs a machine to return to her home dimension, 1989 East Berlin. Neo Berlin 2087, a unique, third and first-person action role-playing game, a deep, cinematic detective thriller that takes place in a dark future vision of Berlin. Solve a far-reaching conspiracy on an emotional cyberpunk journey about justice, friendship, love, guilt, sacrifice and betrayal. Neo Berlin 2087, technological advancements and cyberization, the rich rule over the city, their power absolute and unchallenged. They live in luxury, surrounded by the latest advancements and the most cutting-edge technology, while the poor scrape by in the slums, fighting for every scrap of food and every ounce of hope.
Great spiritual significance. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe, you get a perfectly aligned circle.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is an action-adventure game that also consists of gameplay styles in various other genres. As archaeologist Indiana Jones, the player can choose to use stealth or engage in direct combat with enemies. The game also includes various puzzles, many of which are optional. Jones's whip can be used for combat and to traverse through certain areas. Mafia The Old Country is an upcoming action-adventure video game developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K. The game is based in Sicily in the 1900s, in the fictional town of San Celeste, which was previously featured in Mafia 2. It is based around the origins of the Mafia. And that's the list. Hopefully you found a few new gems to your gaming library. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon next time.